come on, baby. This bumps in the bumps too, man. You gotta come. Oh no, dog, you ain't in the bed, man. Come on, man. Man, this pumps in the bumps. You can't sleep at a time like this. You get up, this pumps in the bumps too, man. Run it back, Brian. Run it back. Now, man, ain't talking about sports, man. You gotta come on, man. I'll break out the book. You gonna break out the book? Right. I got the key. I got the book. Call him up, man. It's on. Ready to pumps. Get ready. Give me the girls with the pumps and a pump. Just for the pump, then I hear another slap. Just give me with the pump and a pump. Bitty girl, kicking on my girl, looking like ice cream, ready to be served. Stretch it, bend it, till I get ready. If you wanna kick it with a G, baby, bring it. Cause I come again, bring my lip, baby, get the ticket slip. I just go to take a trip. Pumps and a pump, pumps and a pump. We like the girls with the pumps and a pump. Pumps and a pump, pumps and a pump. We like the girls with the pumps and a pump. Shaniqua, how you doing, baby? This Brian. Hey, pumps and the bumps too. Bustin' pick you up on High Street in Brookdale Park. Give me the girls with the bumps and a bump. Bumps and a bump. Now many say a big bump, but if you know if it's a bump drop, it's making the bumps go crazy in the High Street. Shake like an hourglass, high as YG. So when I say I got a step, it's a bad thing. Never been a coward, cause it's an east side thing. Hey, the bus will be on High Street in Brookdale Park if you want. The bumps and a bump. Sarah.
It's Pride Weekend. It's Pride Weekend. It's Pride Weekend. Shake your flag. Shake your flag. Shake it. 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 It's Pride Weekend. It's Pride Weekend. Yeah. Pump it. Pump it. Pump it. Pump it. Pump it.
Hey, pumps and the bumps too. On High Street in Brookdale Park. The bus will be there to pick you up.
We about to do pumps and a bump too. Y'all ready for that, right? Now we won't have to have a house now.
That was my part.
We need you, baby.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Hello, hello, hello. You have invited me. Again, it is still Black Music Month, so you know Every song that I choose to play before the episode has been a black song. And it is Pride Weekend, and that was the mood I was in. So we're still celebrating Black Music Month. Hello, 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 hello. During the last Friday of Pride Month and the last Friday of Black Music Month. Peace and blessings, magnanimous humans. I am your very educated, beautifully melanated, and also animated host, better known as DeAndre Morse Jr., and this is another installment of Your Mental Health Matters Staying Mentally Aware, Season 2, Episode 3. Thank you for joining me again. I'm going to try to make sure that this is not too long. I do have a lot of Pride Weekend festivities going on, including tonight, tomorrow, and Sunday. Happy Pride! I know I've said that on every episode this month, but when you are as excited as I am to celebrate my pride, my openly black gay pride, my openly black queerdom, then I'm going to be saying that every day for the month of June. Thank you all for joining me again. This is another installment of Your Mental Health Matters Staying Mentally Aware, like I said earlier. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I am here discussing mental health on a whole new level. It will be a very unconventional discussion, very unconventional dialogue that you get from me as it pertains to mental health. But do know that everything that is discussed on one episode always circles back to mental health. How is everybody? This is the last Friday of June. How is everybody? Do I look like I'm sweating, y'all? I'm sweating a little bit. That little workout took a little bit out of me. Come on, pumps and a bumps. Y'all saw my little point. Fish was eating it in that video. Like she was. Come on. You better eat it. Oh my goodness. Before I move any further, I do want to remind everybody to like and subscribe to the account. Yes, people have been coming to me left and right. People have been ranting and raving about Your Mental Health Matters. A lot of people are missing it on Facebook, and a lot of people are liking that I moved it to YouTube. It will be on YouTube from now on. Moving forward, every episode in Season 2 and beyond will be on YouTube. I will not be coming back to Facebook. It is way too many community guidelines on there. I have no time for that. So, with all that said, I have migrated, if you will, to the YouTube. The tube of the U. Please like and subscribe to my channel. That is at PHOCALPOINT numeral 2. That is Focal Point 2. Or you could just type in my name, DeAndre Morse Jr., and I should be able to pop up. A lot of people have been coming to me saying that they can't like things, like comment, but if you set up an account on YouTube, you're able to like and comment on the videos. I love your comments. I love the hearts. I love all the rants and raves. I love the reviews that I've been getting around the city. I'm just really excited, particularly here in Minneapolis. I do have a lot of support here. So thank you all for continuing to support this show that I call Your Mental Health Matters Staying Mentally Aware. Also, I do have a new email address. It is ymhm@gmail.com. Again, that is ymhm for Your Mental Health Matters @gmail.com. Again, my old email address, it was giving technical difficulties. I'm tired of the digital world giving too many technical difficulties. If we have to rely on the digital world moving forward and we have so many technical difficulties, we in danger, girl. We are truly in danger. I just really hope that we do not have a catastrophic event where the whole internet shuts down for days. We would not know how to move, shake, think, or act if we ain't got no internet. So, again, ymhm@gmail.com is the new Gmail account. Please send all of your positive affirmations, your great feedback. All things positive and uplifting shall be sent to my email. No hate mail will be tolerated. I do have my account set up to where if there's any hate speech or any hate negative comments within the email, it would not be sent to me. I'm not accepting any more hate mail. You all have, not you all, but it's been a lot of people that have been, it's been a lot of people that it's been a lot of people that have been on a hate level for no reason. Like, I'm not really in the headspace to deal with any more hate from anybody else. Shout out to Purple Day, by the way. This shirt fits me real sexy. I done picked up some weight, and I'm looking really good in t-shirts now. I'm not looking like a broomstick covered in a scarf anymore. I've picked up a little, So shout out to Nikki Love and In Love Productions for sponsoring Purple Day for the last 6-7 years now. And it is to honor our beloved Purple One who we lost in 2016. God rest his soul. The Purple One, When Doves Cry. The day he died was literally 3 weeks after I moved up here. And talk about When Doves Cry. So, rest in paradise, the one and only artist formerly named Prince. Or artist formerly known as Prince. I want to get his name right. I will be continuing to post my randomly dropped gems on the YouTube channel as well as new episodes. So, please just stay tuned to my YouTube channel. I am trying to grow, develop, and elevate in this space because you all give me the grace to do so. So continue to support the YouTube channel. Like and subscribe. You'll get all notifications of anything that's your mental health matter, staying mentally aware, from an episode to randomly dropped gems. I love you all for that as I adjust my notes over here. Wellness check. This is a very important part of the episode every week where if we're talking about mental health and staying mentally aware, mental wellness checks are necessary. Every week I have to do that. So are you feeling good? Are you anxious? Are you having a rough time? Do you need to reach out for support, or you don't know how to feel? Comment in the section below. Post your comment in the comment section below. Let me know how you're feeling. Are you hanging on? Are you struggling? Are you feeling good? What's going on? As you can see by my song choice, since we're on the Wellness Check segment, by my song choice, I am feeling grand. It is Pride weekend. I cannot wait to get out and be a very big homosexual, as I am also helping out with Black Pride. Shout out to MNPOC LGBTQ plus Pride organization. Our event takes place, a week-long event takes place in August, from August 14th to the 18th. We do have 2 events on that Monday and Tuesday, but the 14th to the 18th are the events that you all really need to come out to. If you're watching from out of state, plan to travel into Minnesota the week of the 14th to the 18th of August. If you're here in Minnesota and you're watching this episode, please join me out in the middle of the Twin Cities and help me celebrate Black Pride in August. So I'm feeling grand. I actually am feeling really great. I do have a little Pride weekend kickoff party that I'm going to at the end of this episode. I want to probably dip my 10 toes in the jacuzzi water and be, sexy tonight because I'm feeling it. Just like Fish in that video, in the Pump Set a Bump video, how she was, that is my current mood. That move right there, that's it. That is my mood tonight. So honestly, I'm feeling grand. Even though it's still a struggle mentally, even though it's still kind of a struggle for me in other areas, God is good all the time, and all the time God is good. And I'm not going to take for granted the life that God has granted me with. I am able to celebrate my queerness this weekend for another weekend, another year. So I'm thankful for the little things. So I am happy today. So the heart is where I'm at today. Happy Pride! You know I'm going to say that every day until the end of the month. I am very happy to celebrate my gayness, my homosexualness, and I want to, even though I celebrate my pride 12 months out of the year, which we're going to get into talking about that. I'm going to let Pride Month be over because we still got a few more days in the month for Pride Month. But at the end of Pride Month, we're going to get into some dialogue about what happens on July 1st. From June 1st to June 30th is Pride Month, but come July 1st, what next? We put all the rainbow flags and all the rainbow paraphernalia up from Pride Weekend. Come July 1st, what next? So we're going to be getting into dialogue about that. But in the meantime, in between time, happy Pride to everybody in the LGBTQIA2 plus community, also known by T.S. Madison as the Ubiquitous community. I'm sorry. My allergies have been acting up, but we're going to push through this. We're pushing through this. T.S. Madison calls it the Ubiquitous community. If you're out there celebrating your queerness, your ubiquitousness, happy Pride to you. My queer pioneer of the week is James Baldwin, because every week I have had a queer pioneer, because although, like I said, we celebrate our blackness, we celebrate our queerness, we celebrate us 12 months out of the year, not just 1 month. But I know that with this being a very important month for my existence, I do have to recognize the pioneers, the queer pioneers that came before me that allowed me to sit before you on a platform like this in my gayness, in my HIV positiveness, in my truth, and in my glory. So with that said, my queer pioneer of the week is James Baldwin. He was born on August 2nd, 1924. So he was born during the Roaring 20s in Harlem, New York, where the Harlem Renaissance was curated. He is an American writer and civil rights activist who garnered accolades from his essays, novels, plays, and poems. If you recognize the play A Raisin in the Sun, that is James Baldwin. If you recognize If Beale Street Could Talk, that is James Baldwin. Both have been made into movie versions. James Baldwin is a black queer pioneer who is a literary genius when it comes to writing, who's a civil rights leader. Like Bayard Rustin, both of them walked side by side in the civil rights struggle back in the 60s. And I'm proud to recognize somebody like James Baldwin in all of his glory. Some of the favorite book titles I read include Invisible Man, Nobody Knows My Name, and If Beale Street Could Talk, which, like I said, was made into a movie version. I actually read the book before the movie, and I like both. You know, me being I'm into the arts, performing arts, literary arts, sciences. I'm into all of that. And people who are famously known for their literary and performing arts genius and happen to be queer, they resonate in my book. Somebody like James Baldwin, who wrote things from a truthful space. He wrote things and curated and created dialogue from a truthful place in his heart as a black queer man. And some of the dialogue, some of the famous dialogues that you know today have been curated by someone like James Baldwin. And it's just great to be a person who can exist in my black queerness, who, like James Baldwin, even though he grew up in a time where it was rough to be an openly gay man, because don't forget what I said about the 60s. In the era of the 60s, you could be fired for being openly gay or openly lesbian. So for somebody like James Baldwin to just have the courage to live in his truth and be able to date and love whoever he wanted just makes me feel more comfortable to be myself. You know, if I get heckled or if I get talked about negatively from a family member, a friend, a loved one, a stranger, whoever, I have to think about people like James Baldwin who paved the way for me before my time. Way before my time. You know, I come home and I delve in the genius that is James Baldwin. Pick up one of the books I have on my bookshelf that is written by James Baldwin, that was written by James Baldwin, and just dive into the pages of a black queer literary genius and just have to remind myself, I exist for a reason. I'm HIV positive, I exist for a reason. I'm black and gay, I exist for a reason. So thank you, James Baldwin, my queer pioneer of the week. Favorite quote of his? I have to enlarge this. Not everything that is faced can be changed, but nothing can be changed until it is faced. Very deep quote, very, like I say, very deep thinker, very thought-provoking individual. You can't change nothing until you face it. So that's going to be a conversation, and I'm glad that I actually posted that quote from him before I get into my topic of discussion today. So I salute you, Mr. Baldwin, for your geniusness and the way that you exist. Queer programming of the week is Tu Wong Fu. Thanks for everything, Julie Newmar. That has been my movie for quite some time. And what makes it so special, this particular movie, I actually watched this movie yesterday and was cracking up like it just came out last week when this movie was released in theaters on September 8th, 1995, which was during a very crucial time for gay men, like gay people, which was the AIDS epidemic. And in 1995, I can remember that reading, because in 1995, I wasn't nothing but 11 years old. So I knew about HIV/AIDS, but I wasn't really, you know, at 11 years old, I'm not thinking about anything like that. But knowing that the AIDS epidemic existed and it really happened in 1995 was at a very crucial time where we lost over six figures, like over 100,000 people had been passed away from AIDS-related complications. And something that is so lighthearted, like Tu Wong Fu, thanks for everything, Julie Newmar, it came out during a time where we needed it. It came out during a time where queer people really needed to laugh. And it included everybody from RuPaul to Lady Bunny to Coco Peru to Shateria Reyes. These are real queer people who paved the way before me, yet again. So even though the three stars of this movie were Wesley Snipes, Patrick Swayze, and John Leguizamo, they were all straight identifying men who played drag queens, which makes it even more heartwarming because for three straight men to be so comfortable in their skin to play drag queens in a movie that grossed $46.8 million upon release, That's something special. That's something monumental. So I could watch To Wong Fu again, you know. And shout out to Julie Newmar as well, who I made that face for a reason because I know I hope I don't get canceled for saying this. I know the line in the movie from Noxeema Jackson, played by Wesley Snipes, was she was the only Catwoman. No, that wasn't Noxeema. That was Bohem, Vita Bohem, played by Patrick Swayze. Said, "Oh, you are the only Catwoman," and I'm like, that's debatable. Because there have been some Catwomen that came out, some actresses, some powerful actresses that have came out and played Catwoman and really impressed me. Because, you know, the whole Batman franchise is my thing. So, people who play Selena Kyle like Eartha Kitt and Halle Berry and Michelle Pfeiffer. So that's why I said, you say that Julie Newmar is the only Catwoman, the one and only. She was probably the first, but now at this point, that's debatable. So, Julie Newmar, you are a statuesque, beloved beauty, but you are on the list of other actresses who have played Catwoman very well, just like you. So, again, To Wong Fu received mixed reviews. Like I said, some people felt like 3 straight men playing drag queens was beneath them. That was going to ruin their career. Wesley Snipes and John Leguizamo and Patrick Swayze went on to do other things after To Wong Fu. So, you know, you can't say that their careers were ruined just because they played drag queens in a movie. Like I said, these men were comfortable in their skin and comfortable with their sexuality enough to know that if they play drag queens in this movie, that's not going to be the end of their career. That's not going to be the last production that they're going to be featured in. I mean, as a matter of fact, John Leguizamo and Patrick Swayze were both nominated for Golden Globe Awards for this same exact movie. So think about that. I don't know who he is, but if there's a snowstorm tonight, he's going on my tires. RuPaul. Speaking of queer people who, because we are highlighting queer pioneers, and I know you just saw the picture that I just posted. We are featuring queer pioneers. So my black queer, because last week I didn't have a Black Business of the Week. So my black queer business of the week goes to no other than Minneapolis owned Rare Productions here, who I have personally done work with. Shout out to Rare Productions being my Black Business of the Week, my Black Queer Business of the Week, which is even more exciting. It was birthed by my good and dear friend known as Roxanne Anderson in the year 2007, where this individual's pronouns are they and them, and I want to make sure that I respect their pronouns. And my allergies are not going to let me be great, because I got an itchy throat. I know I got to take an allergy pill after this episode, because I'm not finna be going to no pride kickoff party tonight, coughing and people backing up thinking I got COVID when that's not the case. It's just these allergies. My Lord now. But as I was saying, Roxanne Anderson curated this idea of Rare Productions in a time where they felt that there was a space that wasn't giving enough grace to queer performers within the performing arts realm. So Rare Productions was birthed under that thought of, I should provide a space for us to be us in performance, in literary art like James Baldwin, in poetry, in whatever your talent is, queer people are allowed to come to Rare Productions, led by Roxanne Anderson, since 2007, at a time where stages weren't even allowing queer artists to be themselves. So everybody from Lizzo to Minneapolis' own Lizzo to Minneapolis' own Nerdy have been featured on Rare Productions' Power to the People stage during the Pride weekend every year, and they've blown up to be very big names, not just within the community, but, you know, on a larger platform. So Roxanne Anderson also produces and runs the stage, the Power to the People stage in Loring Park during Twin Cities Pride weekend. That was an idea that was birthed under this individual as well as a cafe spot titled the Southside Cafe. Shout out to Southside Cafe, that has been closed since the pandemic, but it was another space where queer individuals can come in and be themselves and have a cup of coffee. You know? So, huge, incredible organizer, incredible community activist, incredible performance art specialist. This person works with talent all over the city of Minneapolis and St. Paul and in greater Minnesota. This person deserves their flowers while they're living. So another queer pioneer within the city, Roxanne Anderson. Shout out to Southside Cafe. Shout out to Rare Productions. Shout out to Power to the People stage. Shout out to Black Coalition. These are all entities. These are all initiatives that were birthed under the creative, better known as Roxanne Anderson. So, Rare Productions, I will be seeing you this weekend for Pride. Our tent actually is right next to the Power to the People stage, which is managed by Roxanne Anderson, and I will be seeing this person. So, I'm happy to be your friend. I'm happy that you have given me the space and the grace. Oh, and I gotta include, they run a radio show too. They actually are on 2 radio stations, KFAI and KRSM, both community radio, which is better than mainstream radio, but that's another conversation for another day. I do love community radio more than the mainstream radio because it allows more space and grace for me to go on and be able to promote Your Mental Health Matters. If you didn't see the episode from when I was on the radio on Tuesday, I was on the radio. It is an episode here on the YouTube channel where I was on the radio for Pride Month with KRSM 98.9 Minneapolis. You can possibly tune in on KRSM 98.9 Minneapolis.com, the website. You can go back to past interviews by Roxanne. The Tea with Rox is the name of the segment on the radio. You can catch my interview on there, or you can just tune into the episode that I recorded and I uploaded to the YouTube. So shout out to you, Rox. Thank you for providing me the space and the place to come onto your radio show, be interviewed by you. Literally, when I made it home from that radio show, I have more viewership on my episode. So getting on radio and getting on television to promote you and promote your brand is very, very essential to growing your brand. So I'm going to continue to do that as long as I have a brand of Your Mental Health Matters, staying mentally aware, and as long as individuals like Roxanne Anderson allows me to come on and talk about me, myself, and I, and the reason and the purpose why I do me, myself, and I. Thank you. Love you dearly. I want to talk. You see how I'm enlarging this? I want to talk. Because today's topic is from my random question. Who watched last night? Who watched the presidential debate last night? And what do you think about it? In the comment section below, tell me your tea. What did you think about the presidential debate 2024, the very first presidential face-off of the year? It was last night. I did watch the whole thing. I want you to comment in the comment section below. What do you think about it? And I really don't want to spend too much time on discussing how I felt because I know politics and your mental health is something that I do want to discuss on a more elaborate. I want to discuss it more elaborately. What I thought about the debate last night. Both of these gentlemen have an agenda. Donald Trump has an agenda. Joe Biden has an agenda. I really did not like the delivery of the debate. I'm just going to go ahead. Let's have a conversation. And kudos to Don Lemon because I watched the Don Lemon after show after the debate. And I'm going to get into that. But kudos to that dialogue that these 6 individuals, it was Don Lemon, it was Abe, it was Ben Glebe, it was Richard Green, and it was T.S. Madison and Craig Stewart, a.k.a. Craig the Writer, all with Don Lemon last night after the debate. And I'm going to get into that dialogue, but I really appreciated that dialogue. I'm going to assume that all of those individuals in that conversation they identify as queer. I'm not too sure. I don't think Ben Glebe identifies as queer or Richard, but it really did lead to today's conversation that I want to have with you all. I like the debate because there were some high points in the debate where Joe Biden did call out Donald Trump for being a convicted felon and still being able to campaign this year within this presidential season, which, excuse my language. That's why I notate that these episodes are not made for children. But I feel like it's really fucked up for this country to allow a convicted felon to still run for president. Let's just call it what it is. Let's just address the situation like it is. Let's go and lay the cards out on the table. How in the hell is this man even able to have a debate? Okay, let's rewind the tape. I'm sorry. The high points of the debate is when Joe Biden called out Donald Trump for being a convicted felon and having sex with a porn star, which that had really nothing to do with the questions that were asked last night, but I'm just glad that he got to the point. And then Donald Trump tried to skirt around the situation of him being a convicted felon, and he's blaming Donald Trump. Donald Trump is blaming Joe Biden and his administration for indicting him to become a convicted felon, which I do not blame the Biden administration for that. What's done in the dark will always come to the light. Donald Trump should have known that. Stormy Daniels was not going to stay silent forever, and you should have known that. You were paying her hush money, but she came out in a very crucial time where this election really matters to me, and I'm getting ready to get into that. But some of the highlights of the debate that I remember was Joe Biden calling out Donald Trump for being a convicted felon, and Joe Biden just reminding America, everybody who was watching the debate last night, Joe Biden had to remind America what he did. I know that Joe Biden is well in his 80s, but everybody is acting like Donald Trump is young as hell. Like, Donald Trump is literally 3 years younger than Joe Biden. So what the hell? Why are we... Yeah. And that was another thing that Joe Biden had called out. When he first got into politics, he was one of the youngest governors. Now he's the oldest president, which in history, like to date, Joe Biden is the oldest president in history. being at 81 years old. But Donald Trump is literally 78. So what the hell? Like, why are we making age a factor here when they're both old as fuck? At bottom line, it was a funny moment when they were having who can hit the golf ball the farthest. It was funny to me, but it took away from the debate for me. I'm like, okay, let's get back to the debate. We're talking about a golf tournament. And then I had to get on Twitter and ask, so since individuals who win major golf championships can run for president, that means Tiger Woods can run for president too, right? So Tiger Woods is more qualified to run for president because Donald Trump made it known that he had made it known that that he took was it an aptitude test? He took a aptitude test, and Joe Biden has not taken one yet. He was like, I want Joe Biden to take at least one aptitude test just to see if he's even qualified to be president. It doesn't matter if you're young or old. If you are qualified, you are qualified. Why I voted for Joe Biden in 2020 is because he is a more experienced politician than Donald Trump, and Joe Biden is who I needed at that time. Will I be voting for Joe Biden even after last night's debate? Yes, I will. Not just because it's we're just going to either vote for Donald Trump or Joe Biden. No. Something had came up during the Don Lemon show, the post show after the debate. Craig, the writer, had said something that resonated with me that actually helped me develop today's episode. And Craig, the writer, said, and I quote, "You need to vote for the issues. Vote for the person that's going to address the issues that you stand for. Issues that let you know that you as an individual matter in this election." Now, I'm proud of Joe Biden. I almost said something. I had to catch myself. I'm proud of Joe Biden. I am so proud of Joseph Robinette Biden Jr. for the 3.5 years that he has served already. And I'm hopeful for the 4 years that I pray that he serves after this election in November. This is a very crucial time, and this is not going to be my only episode before November. I am going to talk about another politics and your mental health episode where I have the time to delve more deeper, we need to have a dialogue around why politics affect our mental health and why you need to stay mentally aware within this very crucial political season. Now, even though every single debate is titled historical, I say every single debate is historical. Like, every political debate is historical to me because you don't know who's going to win this election. So you really, as a concerned citizen, as a citizen who is watching this episode, and I know you're definitely old enough to vote, because I set this episode to only 18 and older can watch. So if you're watching this episode and you're not registered to vote, go get registered to vote. Because again, this is a very crucial election that matters to a lot of marginalized communities. Some disappointments in the debate from last night were, again, the golf debate. And who can hit the golf ball the farthest. And I took an aptitude test. I took 2 of them. I need to see Joseph Biden take an aptitude test. Donald Trump lying. Why do you gotta lie? Oh my Lord, you lie so much. He was just up there lying about the millions and billions and trillions and gazillions of dollars that he done spent in his administration and things that he done changed. And he said that he was the worst, that Joseph Biden was the worst president in history. There's documents and articles to prove it, but there's really articles to prove that Donald Trump is the worst president in our history. And they were debating about that, which was a very disappointing point of the debate. I'm like, who gives a damn who's the worst and who's the best? What matters right now in this crucial time is who's going to get the fuck in the White House and do the damn job that's supposed to be done by the commander-in-chief of this country. That's what really matters. Another disappointing point, and shout out to T.S. Madison. You know T.S. Madison is my heart, and I hope that she watches my episodes like I watch hers. But shout out to T.S. Madison for addressing the concern that I had last night at the end of the debate. The LGBTQ community was not mentioned. Not one letter. Not the L, the G, the B, the T, the Q, the I, or the A was mentioned. And we are the marginalized community that is at most jeopardy. We are at most scrutiny right now. We are being scrutinized, and we are in a time where we are being jeopardized now. As of last year, I went to the HRC Gala last year. Kudos to Kelly Robinson, who is the president of the Twin Cities chapter of the HRC. I was invited to go to the HRC Gala last year looking good as ever. And there were it was addressed that there were over 400 LGBTQ laws and regulations that were put in place for us since the Clinton administration that are being overturned now. The Supreme Court wants to overturn so many LGBTQ laws and regulations that matter to me as an LGBTQ person, and I am in jeopardy for even existing in this country because Supreme Court wants to overturn every LGBTQ law and right that I have as a black, gay, and HIV positive man in this country. It's going to make me move to Spain or Italy or Canada somewhere because I got to live in a country where me as a black, gay, and openly HIV positive man can exist. And not one letter in the Labiquita diaspora was mentioned last night. And that is very disappointing and heartbreaking to me on both ends. Donald Trump and Joe Biden. Neither one of you mentioned LGBTQ laws. And that's a disappointment to the moderators as well because neither one of you moderators had a question involving LGBTQ rights. So it was a big disappointment. Project 2025 was not talked about. LGBTQ rights were not talked about. It was just a very disappointing first debate between Joe Biden and Donald Trump. It really was. There were highlights, but there were more disappointments than highlights. So I know the after show with Don Lemon was talking about, it was suggested that Joe Biden be written off the ticket and somebody else on the Democratic Party gets entered on the ticket in place of Joe Biden. But then my question led to, do we have enough time for that? We literally have 5 months before November 5th, which is the main election for president. Do we have enough time to not only find a suitable Democratic candidate, but endorse them, brand them, and put them on the ticket? In 5 months, you don't have enough time to do that. Then my sub-question to that is, if they are, as a Democratic Party, trying to discuss whether or not they want to keep Joe Biden on the ticket for this year, what if Joe Biden says, no, I'm going to continue to run? Then what? What happens then? If Joe Biden wants to run against Donald Trump in November, we have to be aware, mentally aware, physically aware, socially aware that Joe Biden wants to run against Donald Trump, and this is happening. So whether or not Joe Biden gets replaced with another candidate or another candidate that's even added in the 5 months, this is a very critical election, folks. Beautiful humans. And I'm doing my best to hold back tears right now because I am very disgusted at what this country has come to right now. I really am. And this is a serious note. For me to be an openly black gay man living with HIV, wanting to live in my truth and in my glory and in my dignity, but knowing that my rights might be taken away, the laws that have been put in place since the Clinton administration back in the 90s might be stripped away from me, it really makes me disheartened. It really puts me in a damp place. Since we're talking about mental health, mentally I'm not okay with that. I'm not okay with walking on pins and needles and eggshells as to whether or not I can even exist as an openly black queer man in America. You know, it's a very crucial time right now. It's a very bad time for a lot of people right now. You know, and I really and truly, I'm looking in the camera right now because I need to say this, and this will be my last comment before I'm being serious right now. See, I told myself I was going to do my best to hold back tears, but I want to be able to exist in this country. I really do. It's disheartening, again, for me to know that we're going back to an old-time religion type of government like Ronald Reagan developed. And I really don't want to, dampen the mood or create a negative energy. I am an openly HIV positive man. Yes, I do live with HIV, but it's because of Reagan is why I live with HIV. And we can talk about that on another episode. But please, ladies and gentlemen, and those who classify otherwise, humans, please, if you are not registered to vote, you need to get out there and register to vote. Because again, this is a very crucial, very critical time right now. For me to even think that this election can cost me my existence, can cost me my time, can cost me my energy, can cost me my dignity, it's really saddening. And again, I'm doing my best to hold back tears. I had a little emotional moment. I had to pause for a minute because this is for real. This is really happening right now. So if you care about you and you care about me and you care about the existence of Black people and LGBTQ people and allies and everybody who matters in this country to you, I would advise you to go out and register to vote. November 5th, 2024 is election day. You need to find yourself at a poll. If you need to do an absentee ballot, they are still accepting applications. They're still accepting forms for absentee ballots. Please submit your vote. Please. Because I know I will be voting for the person who cares about my rights and my existence. So I advise you to do the same. Really. Because I'm doing my best to hold it together right now on this episode because it really makes me sad that I can't, depending on the person who gets elected into the White House, I possibly may not even be able to exist and be me. So please register to vote, folks. It's important. Moving on before I get emotional, because this is a very, very emotional time. I'm going to delve more into this political climate right now on my next episode. I can't promise you that on the next episode that I delve into the political climate, because I think I might talk about the politics and the things. Like, I'm going to delve more and create dialogue around this political climate right now in this political season, and talk about the different LGBTQ rights that are being put in jeopardy and the different things that were discussed on last night's debate. We're going to talk more about it, but the next episode is going to be on Friday, July 5th, which is the day after Independence Day. I know some people don't celebrate Independence Day, some people do, but since it's on YouTube, you'll be able to find it anyway. So next episode, Friday, July 5th, 7 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time. I really wanted to get into my self-care management moment before I said my episode, but I could do that. My self-care management moment of the week is people lying. Two things I cannot stand is a liar and a thief. And I also can't stand people who, if I post a photo on any social media platform, and then 10 minutes later, I get a phone call or a text message. Hey, I was just thinking about you. Shut your lying ass up. You was not thinking about me at all. Go next door. Save your energy for somebody else to lie to with your lying ass. You was not thinking about me. You only text me because I posted a picture on a social media account. You were not thinking about me. Stop lying to me. So my problem is people lying to me and saying that they miss me and they were thinking about me because I post a photo on a social media platform. And my solution is I address that and I let people know why I don't like them saying that to me. It would be best if you just said, I saw your picture on whatever platform that you saw it on. Or you uploaded something on Facebook, or you uploaded something on Twitter or Instagram. That's why you texted me, because you saw me on Instagram. You're not thinking about me. Be real. Please. My solution to my problem is that I address them. I tell them why I don't like them saying that you miss me. Be real. Don't sit up here and depend on social media to be thinking about me. Think about me or text me just because I am a thought on your mind. Not because you are sitting up on social media all day and it's like, oh, shoot, DeAndre, stop lying. Again, next episode is Friday, July 7th, 7 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time. Next episode of Your Mental Health Matters, Staying Mentally Aware. I really appreciate you all for joining me on this week's episode. I'm trying to do my best to keep it under an hour because something else was brought up on the Don Lemon show, the post show after yesterday's debate. Don Lemon said, and I quote, most people, it was either Don Lemon or Abe that said this, and I quote, most people have a 30 to 60 second time frame, like mindset. It's like, if you can't get it to me in 60 seconds, I'm not going to sit down and watch this. Yes, this is more than 60 seconds. Yes, you're going to have to sit down and watch my episode. It's time for us to start watching things that's going to make us sit down and relax and take our brain off of everything that's going on anyway. So I want to be one of those shows that is here for an hour to an hour and a half to have you actually sit down and watch me. No, I'm not a 60-second TikTok video. I am a 60-minute YouTube episode that you are going to sit and watch. And you, and you, and you're gonna love me. You're gonna love me. Yes, you are. You are going to love me. My closing gem of the week is simply this. It's just 3 words. Once you can see all 3 of them words. Stop being fake. That's my closing gem of the week. Just stop being fake. Just stop. Stop lying. Stop being fake. Start being a real, genuine, wholesome person that I know you can be. I know you're watching this, and I know you can be a genuine person. Everything that has happened since 2020, including COVID and George Floyd's death, has really brought out a lot of different personalities, including fakeness. Stop being fake. Start being real. Start being genuine. Start being empathetic. I know you can do that. Start being sympathetic. It's people that are really going through that really need your sympathy and really need your shoulder. Stop being a fake. I almost said something. That's me. Right there. That's me judging you. If you being fake right now, this is an image of me being judgy to your fake ass right now. Because I'm being serious. People need to stop being fake and stop lying and stop doing all that. As real as I am on this episode right now, if you were to see me in the street or at the club or at a happy hour, I am going to be the same individual that I'm giving to you on this episode in the street. Stop being fake, y'all. This is me judging you for being fake. That concludes our episode this week of Your Mental Health Matters, Staying Mentally Aware, where we discuss, I discuss, you discuss, we discuss mental health on a whole new level. Again, continue to send your emails of praise, send whatever. If you want me to read anything on air, notate that in the email. Again, that is ymhm@gmail.com. Again, that is ymhm@gmail.com. Thank you for joining me for another episode of Your Mental Health Matters, Staying Mentally Aware, where we discuss mental health on a whole new level. As I always say before I close out, make sure that you protect your peace by any means necessary and do nothing without intention. Nothing without intention. Always move through this earth, navigate through this world, migrate city to city, state to state, coast to coast with intention. If you're moving from the East Coast to the West Coast, you're doing it with intention. If you are going to work at a certain job and you're growing on that job, you're doing it with intention. Do nothing without intention, beautiful humans. And happy Pride weekend to those of you who are going to Pride festivities and celebrations in your respective cities. I want to say happy Pride weekend, happy Pride month, happy Pride year, happy Pride universe, happy Pride infinity to you. I love you for tuning in. Moisturize your skin. I know I will. Moisturize your insides by doing this. I know I will, because it's going to be a hot summer. It's going to be a hot girl and a hot boy summer. So please, while you out there being a hot girl and a hot boy, that's all I got to say for y'all. So again, in the meantime, in between time, thank you for joining me on Your Mental Health Matters. Oh, Lord, I'm doing too much right now. And, oh, Lord, what did I do? I was supposed to have played a song, but thank you for joining me on Your Mental Health Matters. Bye.